I'm here with Dr. David Dixon. He's the Care and Counseling Pastor at Carmel, and I'm Wendy Scanderi, Director of Counseling. And we're talking about some different subjects together regarding what our families and our individuals and ourselves we might be dealing with at home these days. Today we're going to talk a little bit about families. And I'm wondering, David, during this time of the pandemic, staying home with COVID-19, I wonder what healthy families are going through during this stressful time. What do they look like?
I think healthy families under stress, they have the opportunity to grow. And I think growth comes through, obviously, tension. If you can think that, to grow a muscle, there's always tension. So within families, I think healthy families actually have a certain amount of tension. But the difference is they show resiliency through that. They have a certain amount of stay-to-itness to their family. They're somewhat structured, but not structured in a rigid way. With their structure, there's flexibility. So I think healthy families have a sense of flexibility. There's not a lot of control, even though there is structure. So I think that's kind of how I'd answer that question.
So are there particular markers for a healthy versus an unhealthy family that you would point to?
So in talking about family systems, you usually say there are three rules to a unhealthy family. Unhealthy families don't talk, they don't trust, and they don't feel. What does that mean? They don't talk, meaning there's not a lot of open communication. In fact, communication is shut down in unhealthy families. They don't trust. What does that mean? Well, it means that they don't believe, for a child, they don't believe mom and dad has their best interests in mind, and they don't believe mom and dad will come through for them. And then the last one is don't feel, meaning they don't allow for emotions, particularly even negative emotions, or what parents would think as negative emotions, meaning anger or hurt or frustration. I think healthy families allow for that. They allow the openness for a child to feel whatever they're feeling. Now, there's a time where there needs to be an end time to that as we talk through that. But we need to have that openness there.
Those are good thoughts. Then what would you say to a family who is trying to create a healthier environment? What can they do?
Particularly in this time of the COVID crisis, I think there needs to be time for connection. So families need that time where they're connecting with each other, or let's say with your children. And you got to think developmentally here. So obviously, developmentally, I've got a 20 and 22-year-old adult children at home, where some folks might be looking at this and they have 4 and 5, 6, 7-year-olds. And so it's going to look different for each family, but I think there needs to be connection with each other. There also needs to be connection with their friend group or their grandparents. So time of connection, and obviously we have to be creative during this time with Zoom or FaceTime. But I think every family needs structure, as we talked about before. So creating routines is good in this time, where we need to be getting up at a certain time. There needs to be certain time where we're working. For children, that's either doing their homework or doing chores. I think there needs to be time for exercise and recreation, and maybe a great creative time to do things you normally wouldn't do. Our family's not a game family, but we've kind of become a game family during this time. We got a badminton set outside in the back. We play backgammon. These are things we don't normally do, but it's created a kind of newness. And then I think every family needs a sense of control. And what I mean by that is we all need self-control in our life. So some control is good. So we need things that bring us comfort and kind of soothe our soul. This is where our
Mhm.
spiritual life comes into connection, and being able to spend time with God. Um, the last thing I would say would be a sense of competency, that we need to be accomplishing tasks. That's why you hear, gosh, during this time, I've gotten a lot of things done that I normally wouldn't done. A lot of closets clean. Well, children need that too. They need a sense of competency and of completing certain tasks. So for a child, that might be, could be artwork, could be doing a puzzle. For my 20-year-old child, it's, hey, today we're going and buying some lumber so she can create a, a, a raised garden bed. And that's what her summer project will be. And so we all need, a sense of competency in our lives. So those are four things: connection, structure, self-control, and a sense of competency that I think would be a way that we can help our family during this time.
Those are really good ideas. So I'm wondering if a family is wanting to work toward being healthier and they want some help to do it, what can they do?
Yeah, obviously, if they're struggling, they're bumping along the way, and again, that there's normalcy to that. This is an unusual time where there's a lot of stress, but they can reach out to us at the Carmel Counseling Center, www.carmelcounselingcenter.org, or they can send an inquiry to counseling inquiry at Carmel Baptist, and we'll be glad to reach out to them.
Super. Well, thank you
Great.
very much.
Thank you.